Today we are going to talk about these topics. Number 1, the one thing you must have to make lots of money fast. Number 2, retirement calculator, how much will it cost you to retire? Number 3, high interest credit cards. Number 4, when creditors begin calling, it's time to begin credit repair. Number 5, the good bad points of a prepaid debit card. Number 6, balance transfer. This card is not like the other. Number 1, wherever you are presently in your life you can begin to make large amounts of money very fast if you understand a few simple principles. Despite what anyone may tell you, these principles of generating money fast do work. These principles are not difficult, but in order to understand them you must process them. You must take the time to give them some thought, until the thought becomes a part of your very being. How to make money fast is one of the hot topics on everyone's mind. Most people will tell you that claims of making fast money is a hoax. Those are the very people who believe that only hard work and struggle can create money. However, despite the hard work, the concept of fast money is still not part of the equation. After all, if you are working very hard, you are unlikely to be making the sort of fast money that you would dream of. I can tell you from first-hand experience that fast money does not come through hard work. If you are marketing your business or interested in accumulating more money, struggling will only kill your chances of getting money in a fast and easy way. The first thing you need in order to make fast money is to have a clear goal. How much do you want? You would be so surprised at how many people want more money but don't have a clear idea as to how much they want. Without a clear goal, your desire is just a wish. It is not concrete. Be specific about how much money you want and by when you would like to have it. Number 2, many people have imagined a secured future by the time they have reached their retirement age. However, only a few have truly worked out the estimated amount of that they need to hit the sack happily. This is because most people are not aware about the importance of using retirement calculators. With retirement calculators, you can easily foresee the probable amount that you will earn by the time you retire. In this way, you can easily plan the necessary savings that you have to make to achieve your desired amount in the future. Getting to know how much to save to arrive at your desired amount is easily computed on a yearly investment. From there, you can work towards a more achievable goal. The computation, however, is greatly dependent on several factors. It does not necessarily mean that using retirement calculators will guarantee your future. Here is a list of the items that you have to consider when using retirement calculator. 1. Your present age and your desired retirement age. This will greatly affect the results in the retirement calculator. The available years from your current age up to your desired retirement age will determine the amount of savings you have to accumulate in order to reach your goal. For instance, if you have lesser years to save, then your retirement calculator will tell you that to invest more money if you want to retire with considerable amount of disbursements. 2. Life expectancy. Your expected life expectancy will also affect the result in your calculator. 3. Inflation rate. 4. Total Social Security disbursements. 5. Rate of ROI. These are just some of the probable factors that you have to consider when using retirement calculators. All of these things will have individual effects on the results. In the end, people tend to mix everything up and errors on computations are expected. Financial experts recommend some feasible solutions to avoid possible confusions and errors in using the retirement calculator. Here's how. 1. Be careful in choosing factors. Some people tend to choose some factors when using retirement calculator. Any considerable errors in the selection will constitute clear negative effects on the results. Hence, it is important to be cautious in choosing a particular factor. Try to give some allowances as well. For instance, if you will be using the rate of return of investment, it would be better if you will use a lower rate than what's current or even the best possible rate available. Things like this will not put your computation in a negative light. 2. Do not stop at a single computation. Experts recommend that you evaluate the factors that you have used during your first computation. Keep in mind that these factors may vary as the time passes by. Hence, it is best that you keep up with the flow. 3. Experiment. Do not stop from where you have started. In order to reach your desired retirement goal, it is best that you experiment on the variable factors that will greatly affect the results. For example, inflation rate is highly changeable. Hence, experimenting on its different rates will provide you considerable low and high rates. 4. Always seek a professional. Do not depend on the tool alone. It is always important to seek the help of a professional. In this way, you can understand the use of retirement calculator better. Knowing its pros and cons will help you understand the viability of retirement calculator. In turn, securing your future will be relatively easy. Number 3. Most high-interest credit cards are usually easy to get, and really the interest rate only matters if you roll over your balances from month to month. People that have had bankruptcies, judgments, or just have a bad credit rating, for whatever reason, are the most common applicants for high-interest credit cards. Many low-interest credit cards will allow you to transfer balances from your high-interest credit cards, but you must have a decent credit rating. The most important thing about a balance transfer card is the amount of money it will save you, especially if you have a high-interest credit card that you carry a balance on. Credit beware: some credit card companies will try multiple ploys to get you signed up, and then if you're late on a payment for some reason, charge large fees even if your credit card payment is only 1 or 2 days late. Those who want to apply for a major high-interest credit card to re-establish or to establish new credit should consider the price they will ultimately pay. Even those who don't qualify for low-interest credit cards should still shop and compare to get the best deal available. Interest: most major financial companies base the interest rates on your credit score. This tells them whether you pay on time and just how you use your credit. If you have a card with high interest rates, you do not want to carry a balance. If you do get a low-interest credit card and make a payment late, the default interest rate goes into effect, sometimes up to 22%. Making it very hard to ever get caught up. The difference between high-interest credit cards and low could be hundreds and even thousands of dollars a year. Getting your high-interest credit cards paid off should be your top concern. When your credit score improves, try to transfer all of your high-interest credit card balances. Some transfer cards even offer 0 introductory offers for balance transfers, thus making it much faster and easier to pay off your debt. Number 4. This article explores the need for credit repair when creditors start calling. You will see a case study of how one can begin in debt just by paying the essentials, but may be able to get out of debt by adjusting a few of those essential items. When the creditors are ringing the telephone off the hook, you know it is time to repair your credit. The U.S. alone has in excess of millions of individuals and families straining to discover a way out of debt. This is the reason when you go online you see thousands of websites that disclose they have the answer for relieving debt. Do not be fooled. A majority of the telemarketers that say they can get you out of debt can only produce a lot more problems. There is no solution for all of us, but there is a solution for us all individually. Let us take a look at a case. Let's say that you make $220 each week per paycheck. Your debt is about $6,000, and it does not appear that you can find a way out. Now let's claim that you have 2 cars, and both are paid in full, and you have a monthly rent that equals $500. We understand that you only have $650 per month to buy food, pay utilities, clothes, and other items desired to live. We cannot overlook the telephone bill. This seems like an impractical state of affairs, but in reality there is a solution available. Now if your telephone invoice is about $80 per month and you pay out about $60 per week on groceries and about $160 per month on utilities, you will notice that you will have barely a dime left at the end of the month. Thus, the answer is getting a job that pays more, looking for a low-income residence that bases the rent on your income, and using less utilities per month. In today's time you will pay out $60 simply on groceries and not have enough to make it to the next week. Thus, is it feasible that you can eat foods that are inexpensive and last longer? When you are broke, you have to live like a person who is broke. The sadness about people who struggle is that they regularly envy or strive to buy items they do not truly need. Rather than paying the bills on time, they regularly pay a portion of the bill and purchase items that are not needed. If you have 2 cars and are a lone individual, it is smart to put one of the cars up for sale and use the balance toward the bills. You may notice from this deduction that more money is needed to live. Why are you paying $400 for rent when there is many sources on hand that present rent for less? Now let us twist this around. From here on out, we will give you tips on how you may be able to get out of debt and begin to keep a little money for yourself. This article should become a little more helpful to you. What if you effectively rented a low-income apartment? Let's say that your rent amount is lower to $300 per month. This leaves you an additional $200 per month to purchase groceries, pay utilities, pay your telephone bill, pay car insurance, and have a few bucks left over each month. This is one answer, and it does not produce much, but it does produce a small reward. Now if you can lower your utilities to around $100 per month, that is another $60 you could pay out on bills. If your credit history is delinquent, yet you are not sinking in quicksand, you might qualify for a credit card. The answer is not to get the credit card to purchase items. Instead, it is to get a credit card that will help you pay your monthly bills and allow room to repay the credit card. Ensure the credit card has low interest rates and no annual fees attached. If you can get by with no credit card, all the better, but in today's society it is nearly impossible now to go without a card. If you can get a job with higher wages, then this is beneficial too. The disadvantage is when people get better paying jobs, they regularly take it for granted and land further in debt. The more money you make, the more you spend. It pays to be cautious with your money and keep aware of your credit situation to maintain a repair in place. When creditors are calling, it is time to fix your credit, so get ahead of the game before the telephone starts ringing. No matter which way you look at it, having a firm understanding of credit repair will benefit you in the long run, even if it is just slightly. Number 5. In today's world, it is almost impossible to not be able to get by without some type of credit card. From checking into a hotel, to being able to make a purchase online, to filling up your car with gasoline, a credit card is helpful in all those situations. So what exactly are you supposed to do when your credit is not at its best and there just really isn't the possibility of getting a secure credit card at this time? A prepaid debit could be just the thing that you need. Now, just what are the good and bad points of getting a prepaid debit card? The advantage of prepaid debit cards is that you can use them without worrying about going into debt. Since the prepaid debit cards are paid for in advance, there's no big bill at the end of the month. In this aspect, prepaid debit cards are more like cash than like a credit card. The benefit of prepaid debit cards that appeals to people with bad credit probably the most is that you do not have to worry about going into debit. Since you need to deposit money onto the card in order to use it, you do not have to worry about a huge bill arriving at the end of the month. One huge benefit of a prepaid debit card is that you do not need to have good credit to get a card. Just pay the activation fee and deposit some money and you are ready to shop. Something that could be looked upon as both a good and bad point of having a prepaid debit card is that you are given no credit privileges. What this means is that you are only able to spend what is deposited on your card and nothing more than that. Some bad points of having a prepaid debit card is you need to report it right away when it is stolen, as there are much stricter timeliness with this type of card as opposed to a normal credit card. You could be out a lot of money if you don't report things in time. Also, there are monthly maintenance fees that you need to keep a lookout for on many prepaid debit cards. You do not want to end up paying a lot of unnecessary fees. Number 6. As another way to get your business, many card issuers offer balance transfers. This can give you some leverage as a consumer and opportunity to save some interest. Most credit cards offer a 0% APR for 6 to 12 months with no transfer fees. This is sometimes referred to as the teaser rate. A balance transfer can be a good way for you to consolidate debt. You can take your outstanding balance on 1 or 2 or more cards and transfer it to a card with a lower rate. Once approved, you would have all your payables on one credit card and essentially had taken 2 or more interest rates and transformed them into one lower rate. If you want to carry on a balance, look for the credit card that offers the best interest rate or the annual fee offer. However, if you intend to pay for the credit every month, then look on the one that offers the lowest interest rate. Take note of the new rate after the introductory offer is over. Is it going to be higher than what you have now? Are there any other fees involved? Make sure. Also, does the introductory offer apply to balance transfers and purchases? You can choose the credit card that offers the lowest annual percentage rate. APRs could either be a fixed or a variable rate. Fixed rates do not change as the name implies but is higher. Variable rates changes depending on the economic trends. I usually avoid anything that's variable, but you should explore your own options carefully. This is to be taken into consideration if you're deciding on carrying a balance and for how long. Other factors involved in your decision for a balance transfer might be the rewards or cashback a card offers. You may want to look into something you purchase often, like airline miles or gas rebates if you drive more than usual. Other cards even offer cashback for paying home utilities and mortgage, like the Citi.